Good morning, everyone. This is Solid Waste Board meeting for May 13th. I'll call this meeting to order. We'll start with the minutes. We've got the minutes to approve for April 21st, 2026. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Any other comment? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Unanimous. What's that? It's the 12th. Oh, it's not the 13th. Mike's got the
Will be tomorrow.
correction for the recording. This is May,
Oh,
not the 13th. Yeah. All right, we'll move down into the manager's report. Mr. Mike, what's been going on?
Zero injuries, so just keeping that going. Everybody's doing really good about that. We did have one lady fall down in Montana City.
Just fell down, not in the dumpster.
No, she hit her head on the post. So, nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed.
She called me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Wow.
was it her own fault? Was it a curb? Or what was it?
She lifted the heavy bag. She tried and she was waiting for help. Nobody called.
No.
And she lifted one bag and got it in and set it up. And she fell and hit her head, and then she laid there for 5-10 minutes. I told everybody. Yeah.
Is that Montana City? Yeah. Okay.
Well, you must have some new employees up there because
I do.
I backed up and
You're probably already unloaded before
I
you
was
got
unloaded before I haven't got my door shut.
That's how they're supposed to be.
So kudos to them. They did a good job.
Yeah.
That was on a Saturday, I think.
Saturday. I got Jimmy's really doing really well, and Bill really well.
It was two young men.
Yeah, they're doing, Jimmy's really doing well.
And I think there was a woman there, but she was giving my dog treats.
Yeah, that's full service.
That's
there.
why they go.
There you go.
Yeah, I've tried real hard to get them to do like that. Oil, we did 640 gallons of oil, cost us $320 last month. Cardboard, we did 7.74 tons. Paper, we did 3.1 tons. Paper's getting really expensive to get rid of. Aluminum, 0.5 tons. We're in that one will really make, we're actually flipping it over. I think we got a $224 check yesterday.
Aluminum.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's kicking over the top of paying for the cardboard and paying for the paper. It's not our time for home, but that's okay.
You'd think the used oil would flip eventually, but they're probably not even looking at that anymore.
50 cents a gallon still. And if we want to get rid of antifreeze, it's $2 a gallon.
Really?
Yeah, so that's not gonna happen. We couldn't afford that. It's kind of like our fuel prices. I just went through my budget.
Yeah, that's gonna.
I
hit
just
you
went,
hard.
that one's the rough one. I went from 47,000 a year to 70 almost.
Across the board.
Batteries, we collected $404.50. Lead's still doing really well. Total brush, we did 30.3 tons. Cost us $2,130.29 in tipping fees. Whitehall revenue breakdown. Whitehall did 2,020 last month. Montana City did 1,521. Boulder did 1,257. Jefferson City $112. Clancy $237. Basin did $78, and the office did $1,412. $1,412 cents. Whitehall year to date 17,145. That's probably a record going on that one. Montana City $12,658. Boulder $14,306. Jefferson City $1,478. Clancy's done $2,886. Basin 1,029 for the year, and the office done 6,422.34. we're gonna be pretty comparable to last year, a little bit higher than last year. The year before. Not by much, but pretty comparable for revenue. We hauled, Jefferson County hauled 353.22 tons of garbage. And with McGree, Tri-County and Julio, 594.4. We're down a little bit from the month before. But this month I see it already just skyrocketed. I don't know if people want on vacation or what. Junk vehicle, didn't have anything. I'm thinking about putting an ad in the paper here real soon. We can get some movement on that. Solid waste budget still looks pretty solid, except for fuel. And budget for junk vehicles looks really good. Looks excellent. I think that's all I got.
I got one question, I had somebody contact me.
Oh,
How often on the, it was, don't worry, let's put it this way, it was my son and I dealt with it, okay? The metal pile and stuff, how often he hollered about it, why don't you do something? I said, don't, no, let's not do it. But anyway, I talked to him and I said, hey, every often, you guys come and take care of that. When is it? Is it like every 2 or 3 months or just depend on the pile? On the metal pile,
on the metal, once a year.
or once a year, okay.
We haul it out once a year.
Once a year, okay, I'll tell
Yeah, we don't do it.
him. I wasn't sure if he was in every 3 months or something.
No, we try to pile it up as much as we can so that
Okay.
it makes it worth their while to come out and crush it.
And you haven't had any problems with people, not so much sort through, but
Oh, yeah,
still,
they always
for
do.
fear of somebody getting hurt?
Yeah, they always try to.
Okay.
We
Hasn't
go
changed,
down and
then.
talk to them. And try to get their copper in there.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
So I wanted you guys to see this, what's going on at the landfill, Elkhorn landfill. Because we're starting to see a huge rush of tires in Montana City. And that's why, $50 a tire.
Right?
$50 a tire. Or $3 a tire. Yard waste, they're charging $55 a ton for yard waste. Freon units, we charge 20, they charging 50.
This helmet was the cart.
No, this is our landfill.
Oh, your landfill.
This is Elkhorn, this is the one we take all of our stuff to.
Oh, that one.
So
Okay.
they're in Jefferson County. And so what they're doing, what's happening is I'm starting to see things that, because our prices are so much cheaper, they're bringing just a massive amount of stuff to us. Especially like, we may end up having to think about some of these. I don't know what to do. I don't wanna
These
see-
are all new, Mike?
Yeah, effective May 15th, 2026. We don't pay that much in the solid waste. Their C&D, their construction, we look at animals, $50 an animal. I've been noticing we've been getting animals, a lot of goats and stuff like that now.
So these must be people, since you're getting extra, must be people in Jefferson County that normally went to the landfill instead of
Yeah,
the site.
yeah.
Mm, that's
Sometimes they go up there, because they were pretty comparable with price, so they would just go up there instead of bringing it to us, and they had a big load. It's kind of like, I don't know why they're charging for appliances, because that's steel.
So if a Lewis and Clark County person got a wind that we're that much cheaper, they could come and pay the fee, right? Without even out a permit.
Well, no, they would come and we catch people all the time borrowing people's permits.
But I mean, if they didn't have a permit, can they come dump in our site with just the fee?
It would be an out of county charge for $50 a cubic yard.
Okay, how about this stuff?
That stuff, that's where we run into some of our problems.
We may have to change our out of county stuff then to match this, because otherwise they're just gonna come right to the Montana City site.
Because this is in our county. And that's part, that's kind of like when we had to shut brush down that day, nobody wanted to take their brush up.
Yeah.
Because it's where we don't charge, of course. It costs us, but we don't charge, and everybody, it's like they don't want to go to the landfill. And the landfill's not opening on Saturdays at all.
That's crazy.
They're gonna let us in. We have a remote, we have to keep track of all of our scale weights. And we turn them in, and then they send us their tickets on Monday. But yeah, they're not even open for the public on Saturdays. And that's why I'm starting to see more of an increase on certain items, like tires especially. But I mean, I don't wanna go crazy because I don't wanna see tires on the side either. But we might have,
I would definitely put on the next agenda out of county rates for this stuff so we can adjust, because, and we'll get inundated with that.
we're already, I'm seeing people bringing in 15, 20 tires, 30 tires in the Montana City. They're filling up our inert bin really fast.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't, but they're bringing permits in too, so. I don't
Bringing
know.
permits.
Yeah, they're bringing the permit in, so I don't know what to do on that. We raise it to a little bit, just
So this will affect all the sites, right?
yeah, because what it is, we don't really make it, we vary it. So it's been like, kind of like in Whitehall, when people bring them out to Whitehall, we barely break even on it. And that's what we've always been designed to do. It's just
Right.
kind of, it's a service for the community, but when we start to get so many of them, it starts to make us have to haul a lot more.
Makes our expenses.
And it makes
go
our
up.
expenses go up, and then we're not breaking even no more. When we only have to haul an dirt can once a month, and now we're hauling it every week, it's changed everything. So I don't know if we have to think about bumping our price up a little bit to accommodate all the extra we're getting, so that we can still break even.
Are you still sending big bulk loads either to the landfill or to Boulder? Is that
Yeah.
kind of what you're
Yeah,
trying to do?
and people bring in their stumps, we can't take stumps.
So it almost makes sense if they want to dump them in that bin there, it would be a convenience thing, they could pay for that, but if they wanted to haul it to Boulder.
Well, people a lot of times they come in and they want to dump in there with their dump trailers, and we can't allow it.
Right.
Because then all the stuff goes down, and it sticks up, and then,
Bridges in there.
yeah, then we're having to climb in the bin or rearrange it because we don't have equipment there
Right.
to crush it down.
Boulder takes stumps,
Boulder takes place.
just not bins.
And yeah, we have that spot outside. We're getting tons of stuff right now. Somebody's grinding something around town. I don't know what they're doing, but they've been grinding up bushes and trees and all kinds of stuff. Getting their grindings.
Yeah, definitely put this on the next agenda, Mike, for out of county fees, I guess, 'cause
The only thing I can see right now is a problem is gonna be our tires. We're having a tire problem, is what I see right now.
tire and yard waste and refrigerators.
Refrigerators, yeah, I don't think. Refrigerators, we're kind of okay on, we're breaking even unless he raises it.
Oh, gotcha.
But the tires, we're starting to have our problem.
Because we do make a little on the refrigerators, you just gotta haul them down here. huh?
It just depends, we make a little or we don't. This is kind of how, I mean, because we haul them down there, we gotta arrange them for him. Then he comes in and he charges me, I think, $18 a refrigerator, so we're making $2, but that's what we're charging for a haul fee and cleanup fee.
Yeah. Do you have this list for the other landfill in Helena?
I do not.
That'd be interesting to see what that is.
Yeah, it would be. I just, I can get this one.
You might be able to find them online or something. Since this one's out in East Helena, I'm assuming most of Helena people go straight to the one in the middle of Helena.
Yeah, they do. That was the only one they can go. I don't think they can go to one out there.
East Helena.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably so. Their permit's probably only good for.
Yeah, they have lines.
You do.
Oh, yeah, they sometimes sit people, and I listen to them, they sit in line for an hour. Cause they get scaled. There's only one place. So, I'll look at out of county pricing, I'll see what you wanna do with that.
Yeah.
Or we'll have to do it the following one. Pretty quick on the next one. And then I don't know if you wanna look at tires too, I can look at tire costs.
Yeah, especially for out of county, I would say. But if you're getting in county, getting an influx of in county people, I don't know how that's happening.
Yeah, we're getting, well, I don't know why, but it just seems like we're getting a lot of more tires than we normally do.
What was their tire fee before? Do you remember? Was it?
It was only like $5. Was it? Oh yeah, they really jumped the prices.
Somebody doing somebody favors and going, hey, bring the tires here, we'll throw them in the county. Could be, because I know that was going on in Whitehall.
Yes, it was. And still a little bit happens everywhere anyway, but
Just curious. And you're saying,
it could be that it could be a lot of it. Well, it's not cheaper, and then there's a bringing 15, 25 tires at one time.
We could also do a policy that you can only dump 4 tires a week or something. Something like that, so they know we're not a high capacity outfit, we're
Yeah, we're not designed for commercial.
exactly
We're designed for the
residential.
residential people.
You shouldn't have more than 4 tires in a year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, or if you have 2 vehicles, it's 8 tires.
Yeah.
Usually you just have their tire company.
Yeah.
I don't want to take them home.
well, the car company's charging you $15-20 a tire.
They are.
Just throw them in my car, I'll take them down to Mike and they'll only charge me
Yeah.
$3 a
$20
tire.
a tire.
Yeah, so that's what happens.
It does. Happens all the time.
But it's also because of that number right there.
Yep, that's what happens. I just want you guys to be aware of what's going on. Like, we may see more crazies. Like
Yeah.
different items.
We'll have to do some policy to react to that because we don't want to put our program under for that stuff. So. Very good. Good report, Mike. I like the 0 injuries. That's great. You're doing a good job with those guys. Our safety meetings are always good.
I talked to him actually a little bit about standing behind the vehicles. They were, I said, don't trust somebody.
No,
Always stand off the side until they put that car apart.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. That pays dividends to us, so.
Yeah.
All right, do we have any correspondence? Ellen, any correspondence? I don't think so. Public comment.
Am I on the agenda?
Well, we got Basin on here. If you
So I'll
want,
wait.
just wait for that. No public comment. Keith, did you have anything? Are you here for Basin or?
Exactly. Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, I guess that's the next thing on our agenda is the Basin site. So we've been kind of rattling around. We actually did quit Tuesday just because of the feasibility of it. Of looking at the number of permits and the amount that the site costs us to keep open. And Dee figured out the amount of permits isn't even close to the amount of fees we get for the area. So we recalculated, looked at pretty much all the expenses and the income for the area there and came out that we're right close to where, well, we're over what we can, or what we need to keep that site open one more day for the summer anyway. So I think if you guys are okay with it, we can go back to our Tuesday openings because we're not losing money on it like I thought we were.
Well, I calculated everything and we're barely breaking.
Right.
And if we make some adjustments, then we'll always stay a little bit in the black. I took consideration of the trucks, I took consideration of the new building. I also took consideration of everything. I mean, Julio's cost, tipping fees, our tipping fees, everything, approximate fuel costs. I can't do the maintenance cost because it's kind of hard to figure out. And then also us picking up everything and having 2 sites. There's a big one, there's the hidden costs. And that one's where people are displacing, where I can't figure out. So they have their garbage and they take it to other sites. I can't calculate that.
Right.
It's costing them because if you just took that district and they only dumped in that district, I'd get a true cost. But because they're displacing their garbage on other sites.
Because we can calculate what we haul.
Yeah,
Through our dumpster, we can calculate what Julio picks up, I'm assuming.
yep, I got all that.
But the weird one is when they don't do either of those,
Yeah,
they're hauling
it's like
somewhere else.
I'll see people from Basin and Boulder all the time. I see it in Montana City all the time. And so it's hard to, you can't, that's a hidden cost.
Right.
So my calculations coming up, probably we're right there at that line.
Break even.
Yeah.
But we can be more efficient. We can haul once a week instead of twice a
Yeah.
week. We can kind of cut down on the stuff that in the
Mhm.
background.
And he generally on Sunday, he fills a half a bin. And Tuesdays, he fills about a quarter bin, maybe a half at the most. So that would be a haul once a week. We just haul out on Wednesday or Thursday, and then we get an empty can for Sunday. Very rarely do they do that.
And I think we can make the community aware that there may be a day that John's just gonna say, no garbage, we can't take it anymore. And
That's
it-
already happened.
Yeah,
With
This has the bin.
With us one day, that's already happened because people call me, people call me.
I haven't not seen the bin overfilled yet.
People called me.
Well, I
They said it
don't know
was,
who your people are. I'm just telling you right now. I see the bin reports. I have not seen that bin full
let
yet.
me tell you what they told me, if you
Okay.
don't mind, with all due respect. Okay, I'll stand there. Peter Basin, they called me and then said that, a couple people got turned away. And that there was stuff sitting off to the side.
That was the steel bin. That was the day our trucks were broke down.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any reason that main dumpster is
I
ever
remember
on
that.
one day over full unless we have somebody bring in their whole house.
And then they go to Boulder. The reason why they go to the other places is because right now we're only open one day a week. So they're gonna go to the other places. And if you're traveling, like we haul our own metal and turn it in and get money back.
Right.
We go to Pacific and get money for it. But you can go to Montana City 7 days a week.
Right.
I know, I just moved a friend. Remember I told you I was moving a friend Clancy to Clancy?
Yep.
They go to Montana City today
Right.
because it's 7 days a week and they call it the mall.
Right.
And, just like, you know,
Walmart.
they call it the mall.
Yeah.
And so that happens. But I guess I have a question. Mike, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
When we have our quarter bin and it gets picked up, and it goes to Boulder, you account for that quarter bin?
We do all the time.
People-
Driver,
People have
Driver-
asked me that. And I said, I don't know. I have to ask.
the drivers are all real good about marking how much is on the bin, what bin number, everything.
I think moving forward, Dee Dee, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have an empty bin ready for Sunday, because that's our big day. So that empty bin will be there for Sunday, whatever John reports back to Mike that after that Sunday, is it more than half full? We may have to pull it Monday or Tuesday.
And bring it to Boulder and finish filling it.
Well, it depends on how full. If it's more than half full, you'll probably just take it all the way to the landfill.
No, I would take it.
Or would you take it to Boulder? Okay.
If we have time. The problem is the timing,
Right.
because we're overloaded on Monday.
Yeah, they're doing everything on Monday, so we're gonna have to just see how it is. We may end up having to start Tuesday with empty bin. So if it gets filled up more than that, then we'll have the rest of the week to empty it and be ready for an empty bin on Monday or on Sunday. So it's just gonna be some logistical things. Does that make sense to you?
Well,
Given-
kind of what you said, if we start with an empty bin on Tuesday, now I'm agreeing with Mike on this. If we start with an empty bin on Tuesday, because not a lot of people dump during the week.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is, because we close at 5:30. Okay, you open at 10, close at 5:30. They're at work.
Right.
Okay. So if you start with the empty bin on Tuesday, you might only get maybe a quarter of a bin, like you said. Okay, and then Sunday, everybody's coming and dumping, and now it's full, and now they gotta go somewhere else.
Right.
So I'm not sure I would do that.
Yeah. and
Because
this is-
you don't
this
want
is-
to pull 2 times. You said you
Right.
don't want to pull 2 times a week.
this is-
Logistically, that could hurt.
Right, this is what we're gonna have to look at, so, and we may have to change the day of the week too, just to see what works better, but anyways, we want to get to where we can just pull it once a week if possible, and that may not be possible. So, but
Well,
we'd like Basin residents to understand, there may be some instances where, like, somebody does move and clean out a house and they bring everything in one day, and it fills it up 3/4 and over full. John's just gonna have to say, later in the day, sorry, take it to Boulder, whatever. We can't take it today, so we just need that understanding, and then we can try to compensate for that, whether we try to pull it on Monday if we have the resources, or even if we switch it out on Tuesday while it's open, something like that. But there's some options we can do.
Oh, I know it used to, they would come over on Tuesday and pull it, because we lived just up from it, up in the mountains, and we would come down going into town, and we'd see them there pulling something, either the metal one or the regular one, or
Right.
taking brush out.
So it's gonna be kind of a trial and error doing a one pull week, because we've been doing it. Each day we pull it.
So can I talk about the money?
Talk about, absolutely.
Okay, so with all due respect, I want you to understand where I'm coming from, please. Came from, holy cow, your deep hole Jefferson County's throwing money into, to, wow, look at all that money we're getting. Okay, uh-oh, there might be a problem. And now we're back on this side of the equation that we just paid for. So can you see, I got a little bit of whiplash going on here, so that makes me wonder, okay? Is there any way I can get a copy of the numbers? Because people call me.
Yeah, we put the numbers together, so we were looking at the raw data, like if we took everybody's $200 permit from Basin, how much money do we have?
Right.
But that's not accurate because we have all these other expenses that chips away at that $200.
All I have were expenses that were recorded. And I know it was a rush job,
Right.
but that's
We
all
were
I
just
can go
trying,
by.
right, yeah, so I wanted to get all the permits in that area, everybody pays their $200, how much of that's actually just going to operation and maintenance? Just take out the site.
Mhm.
So how much does that leave for the site? So that's the last number we got, that's about as accurate as we're gonna get, not just saying there's this many permits and there's whatever, so.
Mhm.
So if that makes sense, the original one was off because I didn't look at it close enough, Mike said there was 47 permits in Basin, which is accurate, but that's not how many people pay for that
Correct.
service, so
Oh, yeah,
that was the error there.
got that. Yeah, and then of course I don't have any copy of the cost, all I had to cost was the cost that he provided.
Yep.
So that was a big difference, and now we're back on this side with the underlined just,
Right,
which I read your letter, just underlined that we just did it, so I'd like to get it, because people are gonna ask me.
Yeah.
If I could get a copy of the
Yeah.
cost.
we'll probably have to do is just break it down into a 200, your $200 permit, this is all the OEM stuff. So out of your permit, you're paying $185 to operation and maintenance, so we have $15 or whatever left to actually operate the site, times however many permits there are, something like that, we can give you numbers.
So Mike, I agree about your fuel, right now you're shot dead in the fuel, got that, everybody is. Totally understand that, so I'm gonna ask you, I know you've done that with Basin, are you doing it with all of your dump facilities?
Do it.
The statistical analysis is what he just did on Basin. Are you doing it with all of your facilities? Because if you're doing it with all your facilities, you're gonna be able to see whether or not the 193 is enough,
Well, the difference
because
between
we
the
all
other,
share the cost.
the difference between the other facilities and Basin facilities, the other facilities were filling up and we're hauling, and we're filling up and we're hauling. Basin were half filling up and having to do all this other logistical inefficiencies to just keep that site open 2 days a week is the problem. And it's inefficient to have to pull the bin twice when they're half full. So I don't think there's any other problems with the other sites being partially filled or.
We don't partially fill any of the other sites. All other sites always fill, the bins always fill all the way out
So,
before we haul.
so that was the original intent of not opening that extra day, was just that inefficiency of having to pull a empty bin every 2 times a week. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah,
Okay. So,
I used to have to do statistical analysis all the time.
Right. so we just don't want to spend a bunch of money if it's wasted. We're pulling half a bin, that's a waste of money for the whole program. So, we could look at the actual costs associated with each individual area, but to me, that's a waste of time because it is being used as it needs to be. We're not wasting money with pulling a full bin and taking it to the landfill. So,
Well, however, you might have to go up on the 193, especially if the fuel continues to go up.
yeah,
And if you can do a statistical analysis amongst all of them,
right.
you can look to see what you're comparing. This facility, is it making it? 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 Since we all share in that cost, it might have to go up. And the reason why I say this is when I fought to save the Basin Post Office, I went to the Postmaster General up in Helena, met with him, big meeting, everybody there. And I asked him when I left, and I'm going to ask you the same question. I asked him how much he paid for a stand. He had no clue. Somebody had to tell him. And then I asked the senator, and he told me what he pays for a stand. And I said, Bill Gates pays, at that time it was 47 cents. I said, Bill Gates pays 47 cents. I said, what do you think I pay? 47 cents.
Right.
Okay. So the fact that we're all sharing is great, because that's what we do in Basin for the water. It's a monthly fee, we all share. However, if you do statistical analyses,
Right.
you might have to see where you might have to do something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these numbers
And
are,
I know it takes a while to do it.
and these numbers that we got now are going to change next year. They're going to change all the time. But right now, what we're looking at is that the site can be open twice a week in the summer anyway. We can make that happen with the numbers we have.
So next week, maybe? Because we've lost 6 Tuesdays so far. Next week?
Yep, I think
19th.
if these guys are okay with that,
I'm okay.
so, yeah, we'll get it back open
Okay.
and hopefully next year I don't wanna look at this every year, honestly. I just wanna make sure that we're doing, if we can get to where we're pulling one full bin every week, I don't think we'll have to look at it ever again. I mean, it's just an efficiency thing, so we gotta make sure it's working efficiently. And it may get to where I can't imagine Basin actually increasing their garbage load for any reason, unless we got a subdivision or some bulk of people move up there for some reason. I don't know, I don't see that in the near future where the bins are getting used.
Well, population is growing, that's all I can tell you. But you don't collect it by population, collect it by property.
Right. Yeah, but those sites have to be used and used efficiently, so that's the name of the game, is efficiency in a business, because it's not government where we try to make it fair for everybody. This is a business we're running as it's a county entity, but it's also an enterprise.
And just a recommendation, y'all can make me leave the room, that's fine, I don't care. Thank you, Commissioner Doolittle, for learning the lesson and saying, like on the older TV board, we're not doing anything till I have a meeting beforehand. Beforehand, please, I appreciate it,
Nope, that was my fault. I take all responsibility for what happened there.
because that cuts down on my phone calls,
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
yes.
No, my main reason saying that we weren't gonna have a problem with opening Tuesdays or not opening Tuesdays is because it wasn't being used. I made that assumption that people wouldn't care because they're not using it anyway. So that was my fault for assuming that. So I got the full wrath of that and I learned. So.
Okay.
But if we change anything, it will definitely let me know before. Not after the fact.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for letting everybody up there know. I'm keeping everybody in the loop with that. That helps out. All right, Mike. So Basin site, yeah, if you can get that open next week or whatever.
Yep.
I don't think we changed the sign was about the only difference.
Yeah, and I can move people around all over.
Oh, for scheduling. Yeah. Okay.
Already did it.
All right. Anything else on the Basin side? Any question, comments, concerns? You got another worker up there that lives in Basin?
No, he was.
Oh, he lives in Boulder. Okay.
They moved out.
You moved out of Basin? You lost one.
That's okay. Every house in there keeps
So
selling,
it's,
so.
So on Sundays I'll have empty can, and then after Sunday, if it's over half, like towards 3/4, we'll pull it. But if it's half or less, I'll leave it
Okay.
for Tuesday, because Tuesday is generally in the quarter.
How's your Tuesdays logistically for a driver? I mean, if John's watching, hey, it's noon, we're almost to the top. Can you come pull this thing? Is that a possibility?
It's me.
It's you on
And
Tuesday?
it's, yeah,
Okay.
because it's just too busy to, we have usually Whitehall's Tuesday morning. We're always having to go down to Whitehall, pulling two in Whitehall, that's where Troy is this morning. And it's almost impossible to get to some of the outlying sites. He spends Monday trying to get Clancy, Jeff City, Montana City, because there's nothing open on Sundays. There's no driver, there's no landfill.
Yeah, that Sunday's a tough day.
So does Keith have anything else to say?
Keith, I don't know. He usually chimes in when he wants to. Got anything for us, Keith?
Thank you. I do not. This is very clear.
Thank you. All right, any applications for adjustment and cancellations, any of that stuff?
No, I had a few people who almost called, but they want to have the power and water and sewer on it.
All right. Have we done anything with the mobile home? I guess that's more in the junk vehicle deal, the mobile home.
Yeah.
Do we need to advertise that, or is people just come looking for that?
We could advertise that and do the thousands in my advertising too.
Kind of remote and see if that
Get
goes.
some things moving again. They were moving pretty good last fall.
Yeah,
I was pretty busy on it.
good. All right, anything else for the good of the order?
No, sir. Do you have anything, Mr. Chairman?
All right. Well, thanks for coming out, you guys.
Thank you. Are we back here at 1:30?
Back here at 1:30. Yep. You bet. You got time for lunch.
Great break.
I got a meeting in between.
All right, we'll be adjourned. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.